You probably clicked on this video because you want to know how to use AI with Power BI. Probably you want to answer some data related questions or create something with AI in Power BI. This can be done only if you know one fundamental truth. Your AI is as good as your data model. So if you don't know fundamentals on data modeling, probably AI won't give you the results that you want. If you want to know fundamentals, you need to start with relationships, so connections between tables. And if you want to learn more and the types of the relationships, which ones to use and which ones probably you shouldn't use, then keep on watching. So, as I mentioned, I wanted to show you how to create relationships and what are the types of them. So here you see the very simple tables, countries, customers, and sales. In Power BI desktop, it's very easy. By the way, the same in Power BI service. That to create a connection, you just need to identify the ID or the column that you want to connect with another table. So both tables need to have exactly the same column. So, for example, I will show you how our data looks like. We have countries, customers, and sales. In the countries table, I have ID and country name. In the customers table, again, I have ID, that means customer ID, country ID, and gender. In the sales table, I have product ID, customer ID, and quantity. So as I said, we need the same column. So you could guess it that we can connect countries with customers by using ID and country ID, and also customers with sales because we have customer ID here and customer ID in the sales table. How to do it and what kind of types we can use it, we need to go again to the model view. So by dragging and dropping country ID onto customer country ID, this new window will pop up and will ask you some things. So the main thing right now, at least for this video, is the cardinality option. Here you see one-to-one that is automatically detected. And what one-to-one means is that both of these tables have the unique ID values. So countries have the only unique, not duplicated values of ID, meaning country ID, and the same goes for the customers. Country ID is unique and doesn't repeat. And this is why we have one-to-one relationship. If we save it, here you will see that next to the countries table, you see here one. So here, and also one next to the customers table. So now when we have this connection, we can look at the data. Going to the report view and going to my sheet one-to-one. Here, when I connected countries and customers table, I can see countries and, for example, gender out of the customer table. So if you look on the right side, and if I expand it, so I used country in the location and gender on the legend. And here I see that I have a male in Estonia and females in Latvia and Lithuania. And this is why you would like to connect data, because you want to see some more information, not from one table. If you wouldn't have such connection, this won't be possible. So now to go back to the modeling view, we can connect other tables. So right now I want to connect customers with sales table. And as I mentioned, we have a common column called ID in the customers table and customer ID in sales table. So if I drag customer ID onto ID or ID onto customer ID, it would be exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter. And here we have cardinality many to one. Many to one means that the first table has multiple values, so duplicates of the same customer ID in this case. So even here you can see customer ID 1 repeats twice, at least in the snippet. And then one side means that in the customers table, ID is a unique identifier, so we have only unique values for the ID column. And again, if I see this, we can see the same, by the way, going to the reporting view where I had my data. So here customers, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So unique only values. But in sales table, I can sort it by ID. I have 2 times ID 1, once ID 2, and 3 times ID 3. So now if I go to the sheet one to many or many to one, so right now what I see is that I see gender. Again, we can expand sales and customers table. So I see gender from the customers table. I see product ID and the sum of quantity from sales table. And now I know that, for example, which gender bought which product and how many units of it. So even if I remove the product ID, I could say, okay, females bought 17 products and males bought only 2 products. And this is how I can get it right away. Going back to the modeling view, you would see a bit of difference because now next to the customers table, you see here 1, and next to the sales table, you see the asterisk. So this is what it means. It's one to many, or you can look at it as many to one relationship. Um, Today, I won't talk about those errors. So for example, arrow down or these 2 errors up and down. Um, I leave it for the next video if you're interested in it. So now we are focusing only on those relationship types. And here we have the last relationship type that is a bit difficult to understand, but I hope I can illustrate. So I have another customers table. If you go look at it at all tables, views, here I have customers multi. And going back to the report view, so how it looks like. So looking at the data, I see I have ID, store ID, and gender. And it's called, this table is called customers multi. You can see on the right-hand side how it looks like. So it's called multi because it has multiple values for the ID, so for the customer ID. Here you see customer 1 is visiting 2 stores or visited 2 stores, and customer 2 visited 3 stores. And now if I would like to have the same view, for example, as previously, so which gender bought how many quantities or products, I will need to connect those 2 tables. So going back to the model view, again, in the same way, I just get ID from the customer's multi and drag it onto customer ID sales. And here is a bit interesting because now you see cardinality many to many. So this was expected because now what we have is we have multiple values of ID in the customer's multi-table and multiple values of customer ID in sales table. And this is why we have now cardinality, many to many, or also it's called a relationship, many to many relationship. Moreover, you see here a nice, it seems like an error message, but it's not. It's just the disclaimer that this relationship has cardinality many to many. This should only be used if it is expected that neither column ID and customer ID contains unique values, and that the significantly different behavior of many to many relationships is understood. And also you have learn more link. I would really suggest you to read what's in it, but just for you to know, so I will save it. We'll have here asterisks near to the both of these. And also you see this a bit strange, like I'm not even sure, but the error with spaces and the parentheses. So this is how it indicates that this is not very great relationship. What it means not a great relationship, we can look at the data. From many to many, as I said, we look at the customers, multi, and sales table. So here we have customer 1 and customer 2 as our customers. And at the sales table, we have customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3. As you can see, in order to connect those tables, I didn't need to have exactly the same customer IDs in both tables. So that works. The only thing is that at least some of the IDs would be in both tables. So now if I go to many sheet, I will see this. So here I have only sales table. And now if I go and look only to the ID from the customers multi and sum of quantity from sales, I would see a bit strange thing. So first, okay, customer 1 bought 2 quantities, customer 2 bought 5. I see exactly the same here. Customer 1, 2 quantities, customer 2, 5. But total number still is 19. But this is, of course, could be not related to relationship, just that we don't see this free number. And if you know, there is a lot of issues with a total number in Power BI that you need to change. But again, it's not today's topic. So we will just look at the data itself more than to the total number. So maybe I will just remove it, totals off, and do the same for this one. Now, if I would like to know which customer bought at which store which product, and of course it could be with quantity, so how many products, I can look at all of these columns and see a bit strange things. Because now if I look at the customer ID 1, it's here 4 times, and I see those store IDs. We can maybe even move this table to that page to see what we have in the data. So I had that customer 1 visited store SKLP and SVNL. But here I see the same 2 times. So SKLP, SVNL, and again the same. And this is because of product ID. So because we have many to many relationship, here the data model cannot figure out in which store which product was bought. Because from the sales perspective, I see only product name here. So with all the freeze and then a bit different. And here I would have, again, the free for both, the same product ID for both stores, and another product ID for, again, both of the stores. And here quantity is 1, that is like correct going from the product side. But if I would sum this up, I would get 4 and not 2 as it should be. And again, the same thing with a customer 2. I have customer 2 here 3 times with 3 different stores, but in the sales, I have it only once for one product. So this product is assigned to all the stores from the customer's multi-table. And again, the same quantity is assigned here. So if I would sum up, I would have 15 and not 5. So hopefully this illustrates what is the issue with many-to-many relationship. It could be not exactly the same as I here thought, but at least you see ambiguity of the data, how it looks like, and why is it like that. So now you know the relationship types, which ones to use, which ones not to use, most importantly, and you can move on learning even more. Because as I said, AI is as good as your data model, so you need to know the fundamental things and the best practices. So if you want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you like it, and leave me a comment if something was unclear. See you in the next time. Take care.